Hey Clashers, my Super Witch strategy is currently everywhere, and it's currently the by far best strategy in the game. And the main reason for that is Super Witches and the Fireball were not nerfed in the latest balance changes. That's right, Super Witches and the Fireball untouched. But why is that the case? And the reason is pretty simple. We just have to visit the website of ClashSpot and take a look at the most combined equipments. And for the Epic, for the Barbarian King, for example, we have the most used Gauntlet equipment combination with the Rage Vial. No big surprise, that works perfectly. The synergy is amazing. No surprise the Gauntlet was nerfed when people are actually using the right equipment combination. The same thing for the Spiky ball in this list as well. If we're going for the Archer Queen, we have the third most used combination with the Frozen Arrow and the Invisibility Vial. Perfect, you're doing everything right. You're knowing how to get those synergies in and make sure that you get great use out of your Frozen Arrow. That's why it was nerfed. But if we take a look at the Fireball, at the Warden, what's going on here, guys? Why are people combining the Eternal Tome with the Fireball? Okay, I can already see why, because they think, hey, Eternal Tome is strong, people are saying Fireball is strong, let's just combine it. That's not how equipments work. You have to combine them based on synergy, and the synergy here is for most strategies. Maybe Super Archer Blimp is the only exception, but otherwise it's pretty awful, to be honest, in most cases. So no wonder that the Fireball hit rate is way below what it could be. And this is why the Fireball was nearly buffed, because the hit rate is so low. It's kind of crazy, to be honest, that most people on this, on social media and everywhere know how strong the Fireball is, but yet most casuals out there have no clue how to use it. And this is why the Fireball has not been nerfed, because Supercell was balancing based on hit rate. And with this use rate of Eternal Tome and Fireball, the Fireball is never going to be nerfed, to be honest. So what should you do? That's right, just use the Super Witch army and get free 3-stars, because you literally cannot fail with this strategy right now. As well, another thing, it was even buffed with the latest changes, because you have now the Earthquake Boots, which is just broken with this strategy. And the cool thing is, you can already use it on level 1. That's right. On level 1, you have the full radius of the Earthquake Boots. On level 1, it's going to already one-shot all of those walls. The only thing is, which is going to increase with those level, is like the base stats and the damage of the Earthquake to buildings. But that's not as drastic, like that's totally fine. The next cool thing is you can combine it with the Spiky Ball for a lot of burst damage and really quick damage output, but you can combine it as well with the Gauntlet to turn your king into a really tanky king in front of your Super Witches. Both equipments work great, and I will show you that in this video. So make sure that you're playing the strategy, and I will show you now what you have to look out for and how you actually play it. And we're starting things off with the combination of the Giant Gauntlet. The reason why this combination works great is because you can open up the entire base and have 55% damage reduction if you have the Gauntlet on the highest level, and you're dealing splash damage, which works obviously great along the splash damage of the ability of the Earthquake Boots itself. Whenever you're taking any base, it's kind of like classic with the Fireball, right? Like just setting up the pathing. I think on this base, we can go with the Fireball on this, create the pathing here, then go in there, Queen having the funnel and everything. So let's just do that quickly. Let's do the Warden right here. I think right in front of the Elephant, just like that. Then the Deep Earthquake, getting the Fireball ready, getting that Royal Chip in as well. And now the Witches, the King, and the Queen for the counter funnel. When you're doing this strategy, you can have the King more in front with this combination, because he's supposed to tank, right? Like he's supposed to be your big beefy tank. But with the other combination, it's more about like keeping him alive, because he's way more damage orientated. Like that's a big deal, which you have to keep in mind. Let's just do the wall breaks to get into the base. Queen is already doing fine. King should go inside. Yes, perfect. Now the Earthquake Boots open up everything, get the damage reduction in there. Let's add more droids. I think we were kind of late with those, but I think it should be still alright. Droids are within the rage, which is the perfect thing. The Queen compartment was open as well, so she can eventually get into this action in the core with all of those clones. Obviously, that's a lot of damage versus those defenses. We have the Root Riders coming now out. Let's add the Royal Champ, distract that annoying giant cannon. And yeah, at this point, the base is pretty much done, because it cannot take down the Super Witches anymore. Like, there's just too much healing with our spells, with our rages, with everything. Oh, that was a bit too late with our invisibility for the Warden, but to be honest, it shouldn't really even matter. As well, the Royal Champion, it's still like really, really great if you want to have some distraction on the back end, especially versus things like Monolith and everything. The only downside which you have is now the Hog Riders are going down versus Giant Bombs really quick. But in this area, there can't be any Giant Bombs, so that's why I'm going to pop the Royal Champion ability. Those Hog Riders, you won't feel any difference to before, because you can make sure. And that's like the main thing. You have to make sure when to pop that Royal Champ ability. And that's exactly what we did. There couldn't be any traps. And with that, this base is just gone. The Hog Riders survived the entire attack. And yeah, pretty easy 3-star to start things off. And as I said, this is like the heavy tanky version of this Earthquake combination with the boots. There is still like this really explosive damage version as well. Which I quite like, because obviously having something more offensive typically is more fun, and you can play it both ways. As you see, like with the Gauntlet, works totally fine. Now let's play the other version with the Spiky Ball and the Earthquake boots. Okay, a super compact base yet again, which obviously is perfect for us because we have the Fireball and then we have Earthquake boots, which means like this base is not going to see another day. Like this is just gone. Whatever, what I'm always doing with this one is always take down a flank and then just far side towards the town hall. That's like the easiest way on how you can beat such bases. Only be careful if there's like a Tesla or anything. So we're going to deploy the Warden really far away. There is no Tesla, so we're going to do like this. Then the Warden Fireball, perfect. Next thing is going to be the Witches, the Wall Break, and then the Queen for the funnel to push the King then into this next compartment. So let's just add some healers and everything. Let's jump. I see a lot of people like using the wall breaks way too early for no reason, because like you can just jump there. Like there's no need to deploy anything else because there's so much damage. We're adding 2 more druids really early on, so that's I think quite nice here. The Barbarian King is fighting. Whenever he takes damage really early on, we have to freeze for him, because this one is like the more glass cannon build, right? Where he can deal a lot of damage. You will see that in just a second, but he's obviously going to be way less tanky than the other version. Now let's take a look at this. Everything is open. The Spiky Ball can deal so much damage. And that's like the good thing about this combination, right? It's like really explosive, a lot of damage, and that's the nice thing about it. Let's just add more druids. We just put all of them in. I can use the Queen ability. Everything goes around the top left side. We can add the Royal Champion. That's another thing. I know a lot of people really like hype up the Rocket Spear, and I was a really big fan of that as well when I just tested it a little bit. But to be honest, I think that thing is really, really overrated. I feel like the nerf to the Hog Rider puppet, you don't really feel that even that often. Just the like DPS boost of the haste is just so good, which means the haste, in my opinion, is like the best equipment for the Royal Champion. And it just pairs so well with the Hog Rider puppet. A lot of times you don't even have to use the hogs, but even if you have to do so, I think they're quite fine. You just have to be more careful about when you're using the ability. So when you're close to a bomb tower, close to a lot of traps or anything like that, then you have to be obviously careful. Let's just deploy everything. Okay, was not able to do so, but you can tell already, like this is the really explosive way with this King equipment, which is really powerful. But I think both works. I mean, you have seen the first attack, the Gauntlet does a job as well, keeping that King alive, and it's like a little bit just a different way of playing. Like you want to use the Earthquake boost maybe a little bit more early to really get this 15 plus second of 55 damage percent reduction on the Barbarian King, and this means it's just a different set of playing the strategy. Instead of having a late King ability, you're having an early King ability, and then you're just flipping around with the jump. But let's just do another attack. You can tell already, like those bases are just so popular. It's kind of crazy because I guess they somewhat decently defend those mass Root Rider attacks because the damage is just so compact and everything. And yeah, so it's kind of free though for the Witches. This base is a little bit different. Obviously, the Monolith compartment is a bit different setup than Fern Towers this time in front of the Town Hall. Let's see if that's going to make a difference. We're going to do the exact same approach. Is anything baited? Nope, it's not. Let's just do the Earthquake Fireball. Good to go. Now we can enter in here. Obviously get the funnel in there. We're going to jump there because we are having the more damage-oriented King. I'm going to delay him a little bit just to make sure that, well, he's not taking too much damage and he's going to survive until the core, so we can use the Earthquake ability there. Because remember, the Earthquake with this combination is not only all about the just found quickly. It's not only about opening the walls, but as well, on top of that, to like deal a lot of damage with the Spiky Ball Earthquake combination. That's why we're trying to get him as far into the base as possible, and that's how we have to kind of delay him. So we kind of have to be more careful with the placement in general. And now, let's move forward. We use the King ability now, or wait a little bit longer? Come on. Nah, okay, this won't really work. We cannot wait any longer, unfortunately, but hey, we got a lot of damage in on those defenses. That's great. We can add the Roy Gem at the bottom side here if you want to. We can use the skeleton spell to distract. We have so many spells still left. Okay, I completely forgot about that. Let's just use the freeze here. We still have like another rage which we can use. Our queen has survived with her healer puppet and everything. So yeah, like this is it's just unfair, to be honest. Let's just do this. We can freeze the rage the Royal Champion as well. And she's completely fine. Let's just do some cleanup here. Headhunter for the defending king. We're good to go yet again with our next 3-star. And yeah, I mean, give it a try, guys. Give it a try. If you have the either epic like Spiky Ball or Gauntlet, you're good to go. You can use the Earthquake boots, as I said, already on level 1, because the Earthquake radius is not going to change. You are already going to destroy all of those walls on level 1. So you can just use it for level 1, and then at this point, every single level is just going to increase in the base stats which you're getting from the equipment, which is then obviously the nice thing. So like every single level is nice quality of life improvement, but the overall game changer of opening those compartments up and making sure your witches have no problem at stopping, like they would just always keep moving forward, well, that is already since level 1, so nothing crazy going on there. So you don't have to spend the crazy amount of ores, money, whatever, which is obviously quite nice if you're trying to go for a new strategy. And if you want to practice it first, the strategy link is as always down below in the description. Give it a try, see how it works for you, and let's see if we can increase the fireball hit rate a little bit for the future. But that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you guys back tomorrow with the next video. Until then, see ya and bye-bye.